everyone. Well, happy Thursday. It's almost the weekend. We are going to be talking about yoga for mental health today with Melanie Wolf. She will be joining me in 1 second, and she will be talking about, what are the tools from yoga that all of us can do to improve our mental health, which I think a lot of us are, having the issues with right now. So I am just waiting for Melanie to join me, and she should be there in 1 second. So any questions you have? So what we will, oh, there you are. You figured it out.
Yes, it was easier than I thought.
I know. Okay, well, thank you so much, Melanie, for joining us. We are going to be talking about what yoga can help do to help all of us with mental health. Mellie, if you want to start by just telling us a little bit about yourself, and then we can go dive into some tools on yoga.
Okay. I'm a yoga and meditation teacher in New York City. I've been doing yoga for a really long time, on and off, until I started a teacher training. And after an absence from it, what got me back into it before I ever did the training was depression and anxiety, insomnia. It was kind of a grasp for what can I do, not being able to afford a therapist or whatever.
Yeah.
What can I do to help myself, because I'm struggling really hard. And with no expectations about it, oh my God, it changed my whole life.
Wow.
Yeah. One quick body scan meditation to relax piece by piece gave me a full night's sleep for the first time in months and months and months. It was incredible.
One body scan, that's it. Wow.
Yeah. And it definitely takes a lot more work after that, but that's the start, right? But that's what put me on this path. Now I started integrated yoga healing for this kind of stuff, for the process of using yoga and meditation and journaling and mindfulness and all these different tools that helped me to put them together as a more complete holistic package for mental health, for healing our trauma crap and all these little things we carry with us, and anxiety and everything that's going on around us that affects us, especially right now.
No, and quite honestly, all of us go through these emotional upheavals. With some people it is a little bit less, the degree, and some people it's a bit higher. So let's talk about the tools that you said you use in yoga to help yourself and your help with the other clients. What are the different tools that you've been using?
A lot of different stuff, and it's one thing to keep in mind excuse me, is that yoga in itself is 8 different pieces. It's not just the yoga poses. If you dive into it and learn more about it. So it's looking into yourself and questioning your reactions to things, finding out what causes that. Why do you get so stressed about particular things? It's something that you're carrying inside that's causing you to react a certain way. I use a lot of journaling, writing, specifically writing, getting it out of you, setting intentions on paper makes it a little bit more solid. And that's intention for a yoga class too. Like, what do you want to get out of it? What do you want to work through? And definitely meditation, mindfulness practice of being very, very aware of your body, sensations you feel, what's going on, what thoughts you're having, and just being right in the present moment and letting go of overthinking.
Of the past.
And the past. It's either overthinking about the future or overthinking about the past, right? And
we never live in the present.
Right. It's really tough to do that. But it's fantastic. And once you start that, it gives you kind of a trickle down process. You start with noticing what you feel in your body, which can help with injuries, with stress, with all these different things. And it goes to noticing what's happening around you more, noticing what's happening in the world, being very, very aware of everything. And it's crazy, but it's amazing at the same time.
No, that's amazing. So let's just go a little bit deeper into the yoga. So there's, like you said, there are 8 different things. It's not just the asanas. There's the mantras, the mudras, the breath work. So do you? I don't know. I'm not a yoga teacher, but I. So maybe So tell us a little bit about, do you use like all these pieces, kind of pieces of the puzzle, and put the thing together and weave it into sort of like, okay, you have to do, like you said, journaling, mindful meditation, but there's also a lot of research on mantras and mudras and asanas. So do you weave it all together? I mean, how do you, just give us one example of something.
Kind of. Mantras are, I go more with affirmations. The difference is mantras are Sanskrit. They all have a meaning, and as you repeat them over and over and over, it kind of just like infuses that into your system. Affirmations are more like, I am worthy, I deserve to be loved. That seems, as far as a mental health aspect, that hits home for me more than anything. Mudras are awesome. I'm not an expert in mudras. And it's basically mudras, for anyone that doesn't know, they're different hand positions, different ways of putting your hands together, things like this, even just prayer pose. And it's your fingertips touching certain parts of your hands. And that's directing, they all have a certain meaning too. It's a directing an intention. But again, when it's mental health, and maybe people aren't quite as spiritual as yoga, like really in-depth yoga calls for, it can all still be utilized the same way. That's why I go with more of a verbal or written intention as opposed to using the mudras. More accessible, I feel like.
People understand it a little bit better, the verbal affirmations, like you said.
And what else? The meditation, for sure. Any class I do whatsoever, even just a regular yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga is pratyahara, which is drawing your attention inside yourself, away from all of the things, all of the noise. That's how you get into meditation. So that's like another piece. Leads to meditation, leads to self-reflection, leads to being right here, right now. And same with the poses, going through and doing yoga asana. When you're paying attention to intentional breathing and feeling the floor and reaching your hands away from each other, you're meditating right then. You're not doing anything but what you're doing right that second. Pure focus. And the asanas can be used in, oh my God, 1,000 different ways to help with all of this stuff too.
So which asana? I mean, I think a lot of viewers don't understand the in-depth. So which asana with the breath work, like pranayama, right? A lot of people talk about alternate nostril breathing and all kind of different pranayamas. So just give our viewers something that they can do at home, or something simple, and like 2 or 3, 1 or 2 asanas with simple breathing. Which one do you think would help calm the mind?
The alternate nostril breathing is great for that. You're really just breathing in through the left, plugging, breathing out through the right. That balances your left and right brain, your creative side, your logical side, kind of bringing them into balance. That's great for if you have a project that you have to do, or you're stuck with a work thing, or coming up with ideas for stuff, or even just to use it. The breathing, in which we'll get a lot more into next week, talking about pranayama specifically. I would argue that is the single most important part of a yoga practice. The most important part.
The most important. Wow.
Yes, absolutely. Without the proper breathing technique, just purposely breathing and channeling your energy specifically, you aren't getting the same thing out of doing a yoga class. But when you put those together, oh my God, it's mind blowing what happens after. Let's see, for a quick pranayama to do at home, and this is just a simple, almost anxiety breath. Just closing your eyes for a minute if that's comfortable for you, or just finding some point to stare at down below or right in front. And just taking a breath in through your nose, letting it expand your belly, not your chest. So if you're breathing into your chest, right, you're holding stress there. Take a deep breath. As you exhale through your mouth, just let your chest and belly relax. And then start to breathe and let it expand your belly and move up through into your chest naturally. And then exhale, and you just relax your chest, let your belly contract. That's a simple start. To add a more specific element to it, you would inhale to a count of 4, all the way in, fill up your lungs, hold your breath for 4, exhale for 4, and then hold that exhale out, squeezing all the air out of your lungs for 4. That's just a simple box breathing. It's a good panic attack breath, anxiety attack breath. But that's good for anything. Oh my God, if you're just like having a day, take a few minutes, do that. It's going to start to balance out your nervous system.
Wow.
And it's good for, it's great for strengthening your lungs too. And especially with everything going on and like cold and flu season coming, that's always really helpful. Yoga poses, there's a few in particular that are just really, really good for, again, it's all nervous system balancing at the end of the day. It's very psychological, scientific. The best thing in the whole entire world is laying with your on the floor or on, I do it on my bed, the floor bed. I have a wall right behind me. Laying on your back with your hips scooted all the way up to the wall and just let your legs be straight up the wall.
Oh, just like that. What is this asana called? Yeah, I've seen that. A lot of people.
Viparana Karani. I always, for some reason, this is the one pose that the name in Sanskrit just sticks, but it's legs up the wall pose more commonly. If you have ability to prop up your hips under some pillows or a yoga block or anything that'll maybe put you a little bit more upside down, it's even better. It's basically the safe restorative version of an inversion, a handstand.
Somebody said waterfall pose. Someone commented right there.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you ever done it? You could do that for 15 minutes a day and you did enough of a yoga class. As you do this, and this is one of the best ones to really feel what's happening right in that second. You're draining the blood and fluids down from your legs. It's good for swollen feet, swollen ankles. If you worked on your feet all day, I used to be a bartender. Oh my God, this was like the best thing ever at the end of the day. You're draining all of this down into the middle of your body, up into your head a little bit. It's refreshing your adrenal glands, your whole endocrine system. And it is probably the best nervous system calming pose I've ever felt. As you're like intentionally breathing along with it, you're just calming everything. You're calming your whole entire system. It's good for stress. It's good for anxiety. It's good for depression too, because as much as that's the down part of everything, this is still regulating your system as you do it and kind of bringing your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system back into balance. And that's what gets out of whack, right? Oh my God, I can't say enough about this pose. If everyone tries it, you'll just fall in love with it. It's the best feeling ever.
No. Someone commented saying that the waterfall pose is the right name for that. That's
right. I
don't know the Sanskrit name.
I've never heard it called waterfall pose until I think yesterday. I was looking up. I wanted to make a post about it just on my own Instagram, thinking about this interview. And that was the first time I'd ever seen it called that, but it's good. You're upside down. Everything's draining down like a waterfall. So think about it like that. And there you go.
No, that's great. That's good. Okay. So the other thing is on chakras, right? A lot of people, so they say chakra balancing. I know we don't have so much time today, but maybe, what is your opinion about the chakra balancing? Does that help with the mental health, specifically for mental health?
Yeah, that was one of the early things that I really started to learn about and get into practicing for myself. Again, this was before the teacher training. And that would be, oh my God, that'd be a whole other subject. And I'm thinking about actually doing a course to work with people on those. And it's pretty in depth, but really it's 7 main chakras. And they're all in really like central parts of your body. The base of your spine, right under your belly button, all the reproductive organs, right under your rib cage by your diaphragm, your stomach, your adrenal glands, your heart, your throat, third eye, pineal gland, and then the crown, which is your connection to like universal energy or God or spirit or whatever it is for you, higher knowledge. And each one of those, aside from correlating with organs and physical pain and feelings that we carry in our bodies, they also correlate with emotions, opening your heart, feeling compassion and love, being able to speak clearly and honestly to others and yourself. what else your self-worth would be, right in your diaphragm and stomach. And your root, all the way at the base of your spine, is your stability. You're having what you need to survive, basically food, water, shelter, like the really important things that are like necessities to live. And once one of those gets out of whack, when you learn more about it, you can really see how it relates to whatever you're going through. Balancing those out just puts you into the state of just like homeostasis, just this even balance. Kind of like how you feel if you meditate and you finish a meditation, you just feel like jello, like you're floating, like everything is just okay. Wow. That's what happens when you put these into balance, and they can be out of whack from 1 hour to the next, depending on what you got going on. But doing it regularly, with meditation or through a yoga class or all kinds of different ways, even acupuncture. There's so many different holistic ways to work with them. They can be an enormous part of dealing with mental health stuff and getting through blockages, emotional blockages that keep us stuck feeling a certain way.
That's amazing. Any questions, any feedback from, I see a lot of people have joined. So questions, feedback. I think I see something in the question mark 1. I don't know. This is the first time I'm kind of doing this. I don't want to press the wrong things here. So please put it in the comment if you don't mind. But if there are any questions or feedback or comments, we are here. You can also, we have Melanie coming back again next week. We're going to be talking about pranayama. And maybe we can talk about, chakra as a completely separate topic. Oh, Padma Asana, someone said. Yes, what about it on Padma Asana? What someone said, Padma Asana, what is it? That's the question.
Yes. Oh, God, I'm not the best with the Sanskrit terms, which is my own fault. I believe that's child's pose. Which if I'm right.
Padma Asana is folding your feet kind of like that.
Oh, like lotus. Okay, lotus.
Yeah, the lotus. Pose. Yeah, the lotus pose. The child pose is, I think, it's different.
That's balasana.
Yeah. Okay. That's balasana. Yes, that's balasana. Yeah, that's right, lotus pose. Correct.
Lotus pose.
Correct. Yeah.
That is really, that's for me, that's more of sitting in meditation specifically. It balances you. It keeps you from falling over, keeps you sitting more upright, keeping your spine nice and straight. It's not accessible for everyone. It's pretty difficult if you're not, depending on your hip mobility and the way your knees feel, it can be difficult to sit like that when really you can just sit cross-legged and it's going to be okay. Although it does feel good when you are in this cross-legged with your feet kind of tucked up by your hips, crossed over each other. You just feel a little bit more balanced.
Okay. That's to get the balance for, and someone is also saying, how much time should we do yoga every day, and what's your favorite yoga poses? They're asking you these 2 questions.
The amount of time every day, you could do 10 minutes, 15 minutes even, and that's going to give you, it's a good way to get into a practice. It can be a lot for people to do an hour every day. But even 10, 15 minutes. And that could be your own anything, shaking out your body, swinging your arms, loosening things up, breathing, stretching. You don't even have to find a class and do it. Like that's also yoga. My favorite pose, other than the legs up the wall pose.
The leg drain that you talked about. The waterfall. My go-to is always warrior 2, which is also it's also a pose that people tend to not be in the right position for. The alignment isn't quite taught, especially if you're like not really, it's like years and years and years experience and just doing vinyasa classes that are moving quickly and you don't have time to settle in and get the alignment cues and stuff. But when you are, and your hips are open the right way, like completely to the side of your mat, and your spine is completely upright, right up in between your hips, your neck is long, you're pushing your feet down and reaching your arms out, relaxing your shoulders. You're reaching in all different directions. It's one of the most strong grounding poses you can do. And it's also just an incredible hip opener. When you get yourself in the right position, what you feel in your hips is amazing. It feels really, really good.
That might
Warrior
be.
two. Yeah, someone said that
Yeah.
that's their favorite pose as well. I love the upward dog. That's an
That, oh
amazing thing.
yeah.
That,
Oh my God. To arch back, it's
yeah,
especially with so many people, myself included, if you're working on a computer, sitting at a desk, or just on your phone a lot, or just sitting around, we slouch, we lean over. Text neck is what it's becoming called now, is just this like sinking down of our necks, kind of like
yeah,
this, or looking
yeah.
down. Arching backwards like that, oh, that feels amazing too. Just to get that flexion and extension in your spine, either direction, it's the mobility of it feels great.
That's amazing. Any more comments or feedback before we wrap up? These are small 15-minute sessions that we are doing on Insta. You're welcome to give any feedback, comment right now or later. Completely up to you. Okay. Anything you'd like to add, Melanie, before we wrap up? Okay. Someone
Nothing
said good,
much.
so that's good.
Says what?
Someone said wow, so that's good.
Oh.
Sounds amazing. Okay.
Yeah, the only other thing I would want to add is, and I try so hard to push this. This is part of the reason that I'm like funny with Sanskrit terms right off the top of my head, because
Yeah. Yeah.
yoga is so accessible to everybody. It's
Yeah.
not, it's been so westernized into just a fitness routine. It's so much more than that. Making it
Yeah.
accessible is the thing. Saying the English terms, really giving people like what this is doing for you.
Yeah.
Making it like a very common sense, logical thing for
Yeah.
most people, I feel like, is what works. That's what worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
So really, if you drop the idea that you have to be flexible, that you have to be strong already, that you have to be a skinny white girl, honestly, that you have
Yeah.
to be a certain size or physical ability, you do not. It is for
Yeah.
everyone, everyone, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being with
You're
us,
welcome.
and we will see you next week. We are going to be talking about the pranayama. So join us again next week, same time. Okay, so someone is saying you people are doing amazing things. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. I love it. And if anybody, if there are other questions or whatever, I'm happy to answer anything in the
Yeah.
comments on your post for this.
Oh,
So
thank you so much. And Melanie and I are going to talk about how we can offer the classes, simple classes starting next year. So someone said, I love this life. So thank you so much. And
yay.
that's great. And tell us, okay, so someone is saying, and now I feel so aligned and energetic all the day, the
Yeah,
whole
I
day.
saw the first half of that. Oh, good for
Melanie
you.
made that, just aligned ourselves with the leg drain going up and down. That's great. I couldn't do that first, but I'm going to start doing it. I do the other
Yeah.
one. Tell you the, yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your amazing, comments. All right, Melanie, thank you so much. And we will see you next week.
Yes.
And thank you. Bye-bye now.
Okay, thanks. Bye.